Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the October 24th, 2022 meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit Board of Directors. This is another in a long chain of virtual meetings. All speakers, the board and staff, please announce your name when you begin to speak. This meeting is being live streamed and the slideshow on the screen shows the information on how to join the webinar Zoom. You can also call into the meeting at 253-215-8782. And the webinar access code is 848-3082-1351. If you are participating by phone, please push *9 to indicate a desire to comment on an item. And if you're joining us online through Zoom, please push the raise hand button. Be sure to unmute yourself when it's your turn to speak, and then mute yourself when you're done, and voluntarily state your name for the record when you begin speaking. Tabitha, will you now call the roll, please?
Of course. Director Budge. Director Harris is absent. Director Howell. Director Howell.
Kara's here.
I see her too.
Mm-hmm.
Director Howell.
I'm here, guys. Can you hear me?
Director Nguyen.
Here.
And for the record, Director Nguyen is attending on behalf of Director Hume this evening. Director Jennings.
I'm here.
Director Kennedy. Director Kennedy. Director Natoli.
Here.
Director Chenier.
Here.
Director Cerna.
Here.
A little bit of time when you've missed games like Matt Jones has.
That's Rick.
Be in the pocket and I'm kind of
Watching the highlights from yesterday.
Director Valenzuela.
I'm here. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to try Director Kennedy one more time. And Chair Miller.
Here, and welcome to Stephanie for our meeting tonight.
You're here. All right, and then with that, we have a quorum at 9 votes, and this meeting of the Sacramento Regional Transit District will be cablecast on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on Comcast Consolidated Communications and AT&T Uverse. Today's meeting will air on Thursday, October 27th at 12 p.m. and Saturday, October 29th at 2 p.m. on Channel 14 and webcast at metro14live.saccounty.net and is closed captioned. This meeting can also be viewed at youtube.com/MetroCable14.
Thank you. And if we could post the flag. Will everybody join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. And with that, would you call the first item, please?
First item, consent calendar items 2.1 to 2.16.
I'm aware Director Budge would like to pull 2.9 and 2.14. Is there any other requests?
I'll move the remainder.
All right, thank you, Carrie. Second from Director Budge. Oh, I can't do all, we have to do a roll call. Call the roll for the remaining consent calendar, please.
Okay, roll call for consent calendar with the exception of 2.9 and 2.14. Director Budge.
Yes.
Director Harris is absent. Director Howell.
Yes.
Director Nguyen.
Aye.
Director Jennings.
Yes.
Director Kennedy.
Aye.
Director Natoli.
Aye.
Director Chenier.
Aye.
Director Cerna.
Aye.
Director Valenzuela.
Yes.
And Chair Miller.
Aye.
The consent calendar passes with 10 votes.
All right, Tabitha, could you call 2.9 in title only, please?
2.9 resolution 2022-10122, second amendment to fiscal year 2023 capital budget.
Why don't you do 2.14, because the question is the same for both.
Okay. 2.14, Resolution 2022-10127, approving the First Amendment to lease with 27th and R LLP and authorizing the general manager, CEO, or his designee to approve tenant improvement changes. And Jamie Adelman is here if you have any questions.
Okay, fire away, Director Budge.
Okay, so thanks, Steve. The issue with these two is the same for both. As we see tonight, there's a lot of movement between buildings and staff and offices shuffling around. So I was one of the people on the real estate committee, and I know that a person who is not on the Sacramento City Council before was on the committee. That it wasn't a big committee. There were just a few of us. But one of the issues was to, or goals, was to create a consolidated strategy on how we would find more suitable space for RT staff, for RT facilities. And in talking with Henry last week and in what we're seeing today, it looks like there's a lot of movement being contemplated right now and being contracted for right now. But the real estate committee is not scheduled to meet until what I think at this point is November, the earliest. So the question is really, are we putting the cart before the horse, or are we all comfortable with approving the capital expenditures and the expenditures for tenant improvements before we have any real idea of where we're going?
Jamie, can you provide some explanation, and I can chip in?
Sure, I'd be happy to. Thank you for the question, Director Budge. So the moves to 2710 R Street and to 1102Q were brought before the subcommittee last year. And so those moves were approved by the subcommittee at that time. And we are just now really effectuating those moves because it takes time for all of the coordination and procurement and tenant improvements that need to happen. The additional moves and the additional consolidation that you're speaking of, the real estate team and really the SACRT team as a whole are actively working on those. And part of what we're going to bring to the real estate, the subcommittee in November, is additional information and plans for how to move forward for new facilities and for that consolidation.
Okay, I appreciate that clarification, Jamie. As you can imagine, having not reviewed any of this for an entire year, things kind of get lost.
Yeah, I know we live and breathe it every day, but I understand your point of view, and we are working hard to be able to move into the new administrative offices and then be able to vacate some of the buildings there on the 29th Street corridor.
Okay, all righty. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to chip in for a second. This time actually is focusing on the headquarters or admin facilities more, and which the real estate subcommittee approved to the needs last time. Right now it's just some trickling down on some details. But in terms of other more strategic moves on the bus maintenance facilities and other stuff, we will, first seek the real estate subcommittee's guidance later next month, I think. And then, based on the direction from the subcommittee, then we will bring to the board. So this time, even though there are lots of movement on the capital project, also the Q Street, the new admin buildings move, it's really just those, the detail works we need to bring to the board, also ask the board the further approval, but it's limited into the admin buildings needs.
This is Olga. I also wanted to just clarify that the board did approve these and gave Henry the authority in closed session to pursue these two facilities last year. So it's just that now, as Jamie and Henry both said, now that we're in the thick of it and we're making the TIs and all that, things have come up that we need to clarify and get further approval from the board.
Okay, I understand. So with that, I would move approval of 2.9 and 2.14.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. I didn't take public comment. Do we have any raised hands
Sorry.
on this, Tabitha?
We have Jeffrey Tartagia has his hand up.
Okay, before I take the roll call, Jeffrey?
Am I unmuted?
You are. Which item would you like to comment on, Jeffrey?
What I'm commenting on is the fact of a previous conversation I had in regards to when you have closed sessions and when information comes out, you know, for the public, the background and the other information for what you're doing now, and it actually being something from a year ago in action, tends to land, if a board member has to ask the question, how in the world would the public even have any idea of whether you're talking about Q Street, 29th Street, or the customer advocacy, customer other building? I don't know, and just clarifying for the public, I'm suggesting that somewhere you need to figure a better manner of reporting to the public what, not only to the board, but what actions are taking place. You may have put it in some big overlying deal about where you're consolidating and moving, but I'm saying to you, when you have a board meeting like this, is that somewhere that needs to be a better clarification of information. And clearly, if a board member has a question that's on the real estate committee, it clearly explains to me that it's not been explained carefully enough about with background information and other things to detail out to say, hey, you're doing X and Y and what's coming out of a closed session to relate to the real estate property moving that you're doing. And ultimately, whether you're trying to get out of one of the buildings that's on 29th Street, or whether there's something else that you have in mind. That's my public comment to you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. And with that, Tabitha, would you please call a roll for 2.9 and 2.14?
Director Budge,
Yes.
Director Harris is absent. Director Howe,
Yes.
Director Nguyen,
Yes.
Director Jennings,
Yes.
Director Kennedy,
Aye.
Director Natoli,
Aye.
Director Shamir,
Aye.
Director Cerna,
Aye.
Director Valenzuela,
Yes.
and Chair Miller.
Aye.
2.9 and 2.14 pass with 10 votes.
Thank you, Tabitha. Please call the next item.
The next item, number 6, public addresses the board on matters not on the agenda.
Okay, I know we had one written comment.
I have one written comment, and so far we have Nick Bryant and Glenn Mandelkern with their hands up.
Okay, let's take the written and then we'll take our two Zoom meeting participants.
Okay, the written public comment is from Jeffrey Tartagia. With so few board meetings left this year, so many changes of RT board staff and things undone, I would like to see this board lend some direction to board of the future about where RT needs to be by 2025 and 2030, or 2 years and 5 years. We should have more train service and low floor light rail and new buses. All three have so many unasked and unanswered questions. What is this board going to do? When will conversations to and from the board occur? I was able to see trainers of new drivers on 2 routes, 113, 86, 13. I hope those recordings were kept to train other drivers, noon, 1 p.m. hour. Board, you do not ask enough questions to explain to public what is going on with RT. Thank you, your RT ambassador. Do you understand RT tracker? Jeffrey Tartagia.
Thank you for those comments. And now our folks with the hands up, please.
Okay, Nick Bryant.
Hi, Nick.
Yes, my name is Nick Bryant. How you doing today?
Good.
So I would like to talk about some things. So today I take the Roosevelt Transit to Luz Orlando, and what I see is that Luz Orlando is homeless person sleeping on their bench. And not only that, I took a picture of him, got a description of him, then he went. I told him that he could not sleep at the bench at all. Then he decided to go on the ground, sleep on the ground. That's when I took a picture of him. This was this morning, and he's known to sleep at Luz Orlando. I've seen him at Gallery Mall too, and you know, it's a problem. We need to get security at Luz Orlando, and we need to monitor these issues with homeless coming to Luz Orlando to sleep there, which is not allowed at Luz Orlando. And also another thing is the Connect Card machine at 9th and K, St. Rose, Lima Park. The Connect Card machine over where the ramp is at, it's messed up. It's just the screen is messed up. You can't even see anything on the screen's messed up. So it needs to be fixed. And also the Connect Card machines, and also another thing is at Water ED light stations, the elevator, I know the elevators break all the time. It's probably the homeless that break. And also at along where the tracks at Water ED, it's a bunch of trash on the like where the tracks are at. It's disgusting, and I think Water ED needs to be cleaned. The trash needs to be picked up from the tracks, and it's disgusting. And I just wish we make sure we don't have any more homeless peeing in the elevator or damaging the elevator. That's how they break. And there's some things that need to be addressed, and I would like this to make it happen. Now, I also want security at Luz Orlando because they ain't got no security at Luz Orlando. So maybe we can work with RT security that's at Water ED. They can do security at Luz Orlando because it's just a problem with homeless sleeping over there, and I'm getting tired of it. Thank you.
Thank you, Nick. Henry, we have an app for reporting issues, especially when it concerns safety. Can you?
Yes.
Can you address that?
We will work with Nick to see how we're going to make sure that issue will be addressed.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Next speaker, please, Tabitha.
Glenn Mandelkorn.
All right, this is Glenn Mandelkern. So glad to be back. In fact, my focus today is on some observations. I have also some questions on a big change that I saw within StackRT, and that is your org chart. There is a big difference between the July org chart and your latest org chart of September. I also am grateful for one thing I discovered with it, which I'll touch on soon. If you're wondering how I found out about this, well, it was all in preparation for tonight's meeting. As I went through the consent calendar, I actually spotted a name I had not seen before, which was Lawrence Chu, who is now your new CFO. And in order to find out about him, I went to the RT Executive Management Team page where I did read about him. And as I scrolled further, I actually saw that were some changes concerning different people, most notably Shelley Valentine, who is now your Deputy General Manager. Congratulations to her as well. The part that I wanted to say that I'm grateful about is that at the very end, I saw that the title for David Topaz has been changed to Employee Development and Engagement Vice President. The reason I say I'm grateful is because it brought up a memory, a good memory for me, where many years ago, I was involved in a management seminar about employee engagement. It was based on a book called Why Work? And it had a profound effect on me because in addition to financial compensation, it covered different reasons why we work, especially when we want to make a difference. my questions, therefore, when I got to the very bottom of the page was when I saw, okay, well, there's the link to the org chart. I wanted to see, okay, what does this look like? I was very surprised to see the new layout because before the July layout had 7 functions reporting to the general manager, Henry Lee. And now in September, we see 8 functions instead of 7, and we have 5 functions reporting to the general manager and 3 functions reporting to the deputy general manager. So my questions basically are, I'm hoping maybe you can address them succinctly. I wanted to know who initiated this change? Why did you feel this change? Why did you want to bring about this change? What do you think this will help you facilitate? And what positive implications do you foresee with this new arrangement for both SAC-RT employees and customers? Thank you.
Thanks. While this isn't a Q&A session, I would ask Henry if he has anything to comment on that.
The overall idea is try to improve the organizational efficiency and effectiveness. Glenn, you ask some very intelligent questions, whole bunch, 5, 6 different questions. I would love to address this, when using appropriate time. But today, as the board meeting, probably does not allow us to spend too much time to answer this type of questions. But we'd love to put a written report to the public next board meeting. Then for public to you, especially for you, to say the reasoning behind that.
Thank you, Henry. Any other hands up, Tabitha?
Jeffrey Tartagia has his hand up, but I did read a public comment from him into the record.
Yeah, I have a difficult time because we also had a comment that wasn't related to the consent calendar. So, Jeffrey, we'll reset the clock for the next meeting, all right? And with that, could you please call the next item?
The next item is 8.1, the general manager's report.
Mr. Chair, can I start?
Yes.
Good evening, Chair Mina, members of the board, and the public. Before I begin my remarks, I would like to make a brief comment about the new ATU contract ratified by the board earlier, just a couple minutes ago. I wanted to give my special thanks to ATU President Ralph Leeds for his strong leadership. SAC-RT and all our labor groups have enjoyed a highly collaborative and respectful working relationship. So when ATU requested to open a contract up for bargaining early this year, we were happy to meet with our partners. The new contract, which was ratified overwhelmingly by the ATU membership, over 90% of the ATU members voted yes, is a testament to great partnership, open line of communication, and shows we greatly value our workforce and what they do to better connect our communities. Then, speaking of connecting our communities with all of Sacramento school districts back in session for the fall, I want to remind everyone that we are now in year 4 of SAC-RT's Right-Free RT program, with special thanks to our partners, cities, county, and school district for paying for this national leading innovation. And also special thanks to Director Jay Schneer, who is the founding father of this national leading innovation or initiative. Students can ride the entire SAC-RT transit network for free anytime, anywhere in our service area. Approximately 265,000 students, homeschooled students, and foster and homeless youth are all eligible. We estimate that students' riders are about 20% of our total ridership system-wide. Let's speak of the ridership. As the Sacramento region continues to gain recognition for a great place for concerts and festivals, SacRT is proud to provide free service to support these important economic drivers and to reduce gridlock on our roadways. SacRT has provided supplemental shuttle service from downtown to Discovery Park for 2 separate festivals in last 2 years. This year's Aftershock Festival was a 4-day long event, and the Visit Sacramento estimated that it had a $30 million economic impact in our region. Over the course of the festival, SacRT carried or moved over 6,000 passengers to and from the festival. We also provided free service to the new county music festival called Golden Sky, moving over 2,000 riders during the inaugural 2-day concert. I want to thank Director Phil Serra for guiding us, on this partnership, and all staff, especially our operational staff and customer service staff, transit ambassador, and many other department staffs who worked day and night to make this a success. Then, the goal of all these fare-free options is to improve air quality by reducing traffic congestion. On October 5th, SacRT celebrated Clean Air Day with a press conference at our 39th Street UC Davis Health Library Station. California Clean Air Day is built on the idea that shared experiences unite people to action and to improve our community health. We were joined by community partners, including Congressman Ami Bera, City of Sac Mayor Pro Tem Erica Gora, and Director Jeff Harris, to remind everyone to do their part to help clean our region's air. As we know, over 50% of SacRT region's greenhouse gas emissions come from our transportation sector. Transit is the best way or the most effective way to reduce VMT and congestion. That will lead to better air quality. And as you know, as part of the celebration, SacRT offered free rides to our community during the entire first week of October this month. In total, we saw a 21% increase in ridership for the week, notably with the fixed routes bus up 26%, and light rail was close to 27%. On Smart Ride, we had our highest ridership day ever, October 6th, carrying nearly 1,000 passengers on the service. These ridership numbers are very encouraging and continue a steady trend of growth that we would expect. As you can see on this chart on the screen, September 2022 was our highest ridership month since the pandemic began, with SacRT carrying nearly 1.3 million passengers. Then next slide, about the new low-floor light rail vehicles. As ridership increases, we look forward to moving many of our customers on our new low-floor light rail trains expected to arrive starting at the end of this year. And earlier this afternoon, a few local news media were able to get a sneak peek of the exterior of our new trains to share with the public to get them excited about the delivery of our new trains during Siemens Mobility's Manufacturing Day Media Tour. The annual event celebrates the manufacturing sector's contribution to the United States economic power and innovation. Here is a photo we wanted to share of the first car in the final assembly phase. We expect to hold a special event in the coming month in advance of the trains operating on the main line during the testing period. New trains must go through 1,000 miles of burning time before they can be placed in revenue service. To conclude my report, I would like to thank Chair Miller, Vice Chair Kennedy, and the directors, Attorney and Harris, for joining myself and the faculty staff at the American Public Transportation Association's annual conference earlier this month. APTA's Transform Conference is the flagship event for public transportation professionals to engage in workshops, experience technical tours, and network with colleagues. I was honored to participate in APTA's newest session, highlighting innovative ideas across the industry. During my TED Talk style presentation, I was able to share how SACAT's partnership with the public library led to our rolling library train. The library train has become a tremendous success, and we heard from many of our industry partners who would like to replicate it in their cities. So to remind everyone with how the rolling library train works, allow me to end my report with a short video.
It's simple to access the QR codes on the library train. Search the virtual bookshelves to find a topic that interests you, open the camera app on your phone, and hold it over the QR code. Then tap the notification that pops up to open the link. Here is an example of how easy it is to get access to the thousands of free ebooks available at the Sacramento Public Library. The QR code opens access to a wide variety of ebooks and audiobooks that a writer can download for free. All they need is a free library membership. The rolling library train also features video games and movies. Riders can download a free movie and watch while they ride and save for later. Younger riders can also access free virtual storytime videos right from the comfort of their seat. The library has a variety of different topics to keep kids entertained. One of the more unusual offerings is the Library of Things, where riders can scan the QR code to access a wide range of items like microscopes, musical instruments, a GoPro, or a lawnmower. For the adventurous, there is also a QR code to check out a free state park pass to explore the great outdoors. The pass has access to over 200 California state parks. For riders without a smartphone, the library train is also a great reminder of what community members can find inside the Sacramento region's 27 public library locations. There's something for everyone on board the rolling library train.
And just want to say, all those books are not physical books.
Thank you, Henry. And Director Cerny, you have your hand up?
I do, Mr. Chair. Thank you. I just wanted to thank Henry very publicly. He was being much too humble in his mention of the participation and assistance of RT for our Aftershock and Golden Sky music festivals that we had last weekend and the weekend prior. I should say 2 weekends ago. It was Henry who, of course, I called upon, as we do at times, to help problem solve in real time. And he and his very capable staff and our operators, quite frankly, came through as they have in years past to help get patrons of both music festivals to and from the venue, and really help us manage traffic and ensure the safety of concert goers. So I just wanted to make sure that while he was attempting to thank me, the thanks really goes the other direction, and couldn't have done it without you, Henry. And if you would please extend not just my thanks, but thanks of the entire Board of Supervisors. And I know Mr. Testa with Visit Sacramento has probably done the same thing in terms of acknowledging RT's partnership this year and in years past. So thanks again. And hopefully we continue to grow the music festival as we have and manage it well, including the transportation side of things. And I'm just very happy and proud that RT is a kind of institutional partner in making it such a great part of our local music scene. So thank you.
Well, thank you.
Thanks for your comments, Phil. Director Natoli?
Yes, thanks, Chair Miller. I just wanted to echo some comments about the Henry's role and certainly that of our RT staff at the ALPTA conference. I know that you and certainly Directors Kennedy and Harris were in attendance as well, and certainly you want to thank Lisa Hines and Laura and folks on the other end there that all helped us with the transportation, but also I think just with the general accommodations at the conference. And all of us were in attendance for the presentation by Henry of the Rolling Library. They were actually only given 7 minutes, as we all recall, to do brief vignettes about programs in various transit districts throughout the country. And I told Henry afterwards, but it was obvious that not unlike some of the other presentations, but certainly for that one, that there was some good chatter in the room. I know the table adjacent to ours, and folks found the presentation interesting, but I think it was certainly a spark for an idea that maybe other jurisdictions and other transit districts in concert with their libraries, maybe other partners would look at implementing. But it was well received, and the conference in general, certainly to have the collection of folks from throughout the country, districts, small, medium, and large, to see the recognition that went to Siemens and to some of our partners in the region. I know that Stockton and their regional transit district, and I think one other locally, received some recognition in different categories. But I just wanted to share that one of the things, I know others heard this, but I've shared it a few times since, that we're talking about districts, and as Henry talked about in his comments, working to improve ridership figures, but to implement programs such as we have done with free rides for certain segments of our population. But one of the transit directors, I can't remember if it was from New York or maybe elsewhere, somewhere back east, was saying that in the public policy arena and government in general, there's two things that people dislike the most. One is they don't like the status quo, and secondly, they don't like change. And that's the challenge that we all face. And I just found that was pretty interesting, but it kind of characterizes, I think, the work that we do in trying to, rebuild and to improve our system, but also implement, new strategies to serve those who depend upon and look to RT as a leader. And yet a lot of times they don't embrace the change that will come as a part of that. So nonetheless, anyway, congratulations to Henry. Certainly thank you, Steve, for your leadership this year as chair, my colleagues, and to all the RT staff who were there that helped scope out tables and get us to the appointments on time and to and from the airport. All very much appreciated. And I certainly enjoyed the opportunity to share with you and to see the recognition that RT got, along with the folks from throughout the country who are leaders in transportation and public transportation arena. Thanks.
Thanks, Don. Yeah, that was a really well run conference, very informational, and what a beautiful conference center they have in Seattle. And with that, are there any other director comments? If not, I'll take public comment on this item.
Jeffrey
any hand?
Tartagia has his hand up.
Go ahead, Jeffrey.
The first thing I want to say is, yes, Henry, thank you. There's a lot of things through here. And because I'm also involved with a nationwide writers group called Trust, it's interesting to see some of the ideas that this institution starts out in, where the idea gets to propagate across the country for writers. The second thing I want to bring up is dealing with the aftershock, and the other is, please, as you work in the future, perhaps using sandwich boards or something else, give a better indication of where the pickup points are, because that was one of the things in the days that we're on. Your operators had to respond and direct riders to where did they need to go to get picked up to get to aftershock. The next thing I want to bring up is, because you canceled, Steve, in the October and September period, the mention about the free, should we say, days for air. I'm hoping next year will be better. It did get out word of mouth, but it was awfully hard for people to realize before that you were able to ride free that week. I noticed both Sac State students and others, some of the machines were marked as being for free and others were not. So a lot of different things took place on there, showing that communication needed to be worked better for that week about getting the message out that you were riding and encouraging others. I mean, you did the best thing about getting more riders aboard to learn and use the system. But this is why I bring up the RT tracker, because it shows what cancellations are going on so that you know how to plan out your rides. Today it started out being 4. By 3 o'clock, it was over 40. So the RT tracker explains that for people to use it to see what is a scheduled ride in black and what is actually taking place on the bus routes themselves. And with those messages, I also say to you, Steve, the written response I tried to do as an RT ambassador, because I thought it was worth noting about dealing with for Jay Shanero about under Broadway being cleared out of the tents, which is part of a thing that Jeff Harris has brought forward about public safety, and the fact that on the 88 bus line, I believe it was, that the 2 or 3 times using the smart app to show about what in a sense were bed being left at a bus stop and trash being left at a bus stop. Ultimately, it was the 7-Eleven people that came out and made the bus stop clean and presentable to be used as a bus stop. And that's the end. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Any other public comment, Tabitha?
There are no other hands up.
All right, having heard that, that was for information. Next item, please.
Next item is 9.1, the Capital Corridor JPA meeting summary of September 21st.
The only thing I'll just highlight is we're seeing ridership return to the Capital Corridor, and we voted to restore service, created a restoration plan and approved it in the updated budget. Any other questions directors have, I could answer, but if not, let's move on to the next item.
And the next item is 9.2, San Joaquin JPA meeting summary of September 23rd.
Anybody have any questions or comments on that? Okay, and any hands up for public comment?
Jeffrey Tartagia has his hand up.
Okay, let's give him 2 minutes. We need to get to this closed session.
Understood. I would just comment is going down to LA on the Capital Corridor. I appreciated the fact that there was more than just simply the conductor. There was assistance to help out. It was appreciated to get me down to LA. Only a Union Station was what I had an issue with the red caps, but thank you, Capital Corridor, for acknowledging that additional riders and that additional help is needed. So appreciate that, not just simply being a conductor aboard on a Capital Corridor ride. And that's my comment. Thank you.
That's good to hear. Thanks, Jeffrey. All right. If there are no other hands up, we can move to the next item, please.
The next item is 13.1, conference with legal counsel pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9, potential litigation, Tracy Speranza versus SACRT. And the matter is application for leave to present late claim for damage.
Okay, thank you. And I am obligated to ask if there's any hands up for public comment on this item.
There are no hands up.
Okay, I don't anticipate, since this is the early stages of having to report out on this item. Olga, is that appropriate to say, or do you want to keep the meeting open?
No, I think that's appropriate at this time.
Okay. So I will adjourn the open session now, and all of us who from the board and staff who will be attending the closed session can join the meeting using the link that was emailed to you earlier today from Tabitha. And with that, we'll adjourn the open session.
Mr. Chair.
Cerna has.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Maybe I wasn't paying close enough attention, but did we call for comments from board members before closed session?
No, if you'd like to make a comment though.
Well,
please.
I'll save it for later if we're coming back, but if we're not, I just assume make it now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably skipped over it for reports, ideas, and questions. So go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, sorry about that. I just want to make a brief request and invite Director Valenzuela to chime in as she wants to as well. I committed to bringing this up during today's board meeting, and that is that on November 2nd, there is going to be a convening of various interests along the Broadway corridor, business interests, residents, to meet with a number of relevant parties, including the city and the county, and our sister agencies at both in both jurisdictions. Basically, anyone that has anything to do with helping us address the issue of the unsheltered challenge in our neighborhoods, including that district, including that corridor. And while it may prove to be a bit of a venting session, which I think is understandable, we really want to make it as productive an exchange as we can. And so we did a bit of brainstorming this afternoon in terms of who we think is relevant and who should be there represented, and RT as an agency, I think we both agree would be good to have, since there's been a number of public comments lately about safety at the station near 19th and Broadway. So Henry, you and Katie and I, we can talk offline in terms of the details, but I just wanted to make public mention of that because I committed to do so.
Yes.
Yes, well said, Supervisor. And I would add to my colleague, Councilmember Jennings, that I know they'd love to have you present as well, given your upcoming district line changes that we will share Broadway at the end of this year. So hope that folks will join. I hope it will be a good discussion for updates. We have a lot to say as the city and county. So hope you can be there, Henry, or someone from the team.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, thank you. And with that, we'll adjourn to closed session.
Okay, thank you.